Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. Sorry for the delay. Adekunle, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Dumebi, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Victor, I can see you. Thank you for joining us. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you so much. John, I can see you. Thank you for joining. Jennifer, Jay, Rashid, Ubong, thank you. Thank you so much. Remy, thank you for joining us. Sarah, thank you for joining us. Richard, thank you for joining us. Ufoma, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Good evening once again. It's a pleasure to have you here. On behalf of the entire reQuid team, we want to say welcome for joining this town hall meeting and our future launch meeting. So, can we hear me? If you can hear me, please send a message in the chat room that you can hear me. Yes, if you want to record, you can go ahead to record. Okay, thank you, George. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I've gotten the messages. Thank you. Okay. So we'll get to hear more about reQuid, and we'll also have the opportunity to ask questions. I'm sure at the end of today's meeting, we should be able to achieve a better relationship with all our investors. My name is Blessing, and I'll be anchoring today's meeting. So first, our product team, they are going to share the new feature launch with us, and then we'll have our co-founder walk us through the journey at reQuid. Then we'll be answering whatever question you have, and then finally, we'll be gifting reQuid investment units to our lucky investors. Now, I'll be introducing our product designer, being Utiba. He's going to take us on the new feature launch.
Thank you, Blessing. Good evening, everybody. My name is Utiba, as Blessing rightly said. Today is an exciting day for us. For almost a year now, we have played around with a few things, and we think we are basically on the right track, considering some of the feedback we've gotten from you, our esteemed investors. So when we started, we aimed to solve a few issues that we as reQuid staff also had issues with. First of all, investing, finding the right places to invest, having reliable spaces to put our monies in, and also there was the issue of, okay, now that I found the right places to invest, how do I track these investments? How do I know which investments expires matures when? Where did I put my money? What's the username of that platform? What's the password? And so we aim to solve some of those issues. And with that, we made sure that every single investment you did on reQuid stays in one place called your portfolio, right? Also, we are now looking at the future. So when we started, we wanted to solve a few things. Like I said, having multiple platforms you're investing in. So we crunched everything to one. There is a second one, which is the high entry price. So the minimum was around 100,000 naira. We brought down our units to as little as 5,000 naira per unit. So you can, almost anybody can get in. And then there was the issue of trust, the issue of tracking your portfolio. So we solved some of these issues. Now we are looking at building or enhancing the community that we have, because not only do you want to get stuff, but when you find the right stuff, you also want to share with your loved ones, right? People that you like. When you find a good thing, you want other people to be able to enjoy these things that you're enjoying. And so we're introducing a few new features that will help foster this community. So I'm going to tell a brief story. When parents are getting older, or as people get better at what they do, they want to, like I said, want to be able to share. A father wants to be able to share his investments with his children. And we said, okay, fine. Say I got 1,000 units of investments of investments in reQuid, and maybe I have 3 children. I want to be able to share some of that, right? I don't have to always have to send them the money and then have them buy it themselves. If it was my son's birthday and I wanted to give him a gift, all I have to do is, well, all I would want to do is just share some of my units with him, and then when it matures, he gets the benefits. And so that's one of the features we've introduced, the ability to transfer investments. So starting today or live today, you will be able to transfer investments on reQuid. So whatever you buy, all you need to do is, once you buy investments, all you need to do is go to that investment on your portfolio. You will see a new icon in your portfolio that says transfer. I'm going to be doing a brief demo in a bit to let us be able to see these new features. Secondly, you will be able to transfer funds. So starting today, you'll be able to transfer monies in your wallet to whoever you want. It's a very simple step. All you need to do is click the transfer button on your wallet. You will see a new transfer button. So right now, or before today, you had the fund wallet button, and you also had the withdraw funds button in your wallet. We've added the transfer funds button. So you should be able to transfer funds to other people on or off the platform. All you need to do is enter either their email address or their referral code, and enter how much you want to transfer, enter your PIN, and it's as easy as that. They get a prompt via email. Once they accept, they get the funds. No, okay, so for funds, it's direct. For investments, they accept and then they get the funds. Also, some people have been saying, okay, fine, I need cash, right? Say I've invested to the tune of 1 million naira, and I need, say, I need 200,000 naira right now. Or let's make it simple, 100,000 naira. 100,000 naira would be what, 20 units on reQuid. But because you have bought investments worth 1 million naira, if you wanted to sell in the past, let's also bear in mind that no other platform yet has been able to give you the ability to sell your investments. No other ATP yet gives you the ability to sell your investments. So we introduced that, the ability for you to sell. And we're taking a step further. We're also giving you the ability to sell part of your investment. So it's called part liquidation, where you can convert part of your investments to cash. So in this case, you have 1 million naira worth of investments, you need 100,000 naira. So of course, you want to sell 20 units. All you will need to do is type in the number of units. We show you how much that's going to cost. And then as usual, you enter your PIN and then you sell that number of units. You are left with the remaining in your portfolio. So let's see. I'm going to take a small few seconds break to quickly get that demo ready, and I'll be sharing my screen. 1 second, please. Okay. All right. Okay, over here is my screen. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to be demonstrating one of the first things I told us about, which is transfer of funds. You'll see at the left-hand side that before there was just fund wallet and withdraw funds. Now we have the new button, as we rightfully said, transfer funds. So let's see. In my wallet, I don't have a lot of cash, but it's as simple as say, okay, fine. I want to transfer a certain amount. All I need to do is enter that amount, enter that recipient's email address, and then proceed. So let's just do a quick one. Yeah. So it's as simple as that. I'm not going to dwell on this for now. I think I want to go and do something more interesting, which is yeah, part liquidation. So for example, I have an investment running, right? Which is poultry that we are seeing here. If I wanted to sell, I have about 60 units in here. If I wanted to sell part of that, all I would need to do is click the sell button now. And for example, so all the details of that investment are being shown right here. For example, I wanted to sell 5 units of that investment. Immediately as I choose 5 units, it updates to show the amount for that 5 units, how much I will get back, my interest at the end of the day, and every single detail that is important to you, the investor. And then you click proceed. Now, we want to make sure that you are making the right decisions. So like your banking app and your other transactional applications, we give you a summary of the action you're about to take. And to confirm, you enter your PIN and then you proceed. And then you click sell. Immediately, you will see it as usual. This transforms to a sell icon, and then you can see the transformation. The one that I'll be doing today, we'll be doing some giveaways today. And I will use that giveaway to demonstrate transfer of investments. So that's it for now. We'll come back and then demonstrate the final part. So over to you, Blessing. And thank you guys for listening.
Very much, Itibe. Thank you very, very much for that. We've been getting questions. Some persons are asking if they can read
Okay, hi everyone. Good evening, everybody. I think Blessing is having a bit of network issues. Can everyone hear me? I'd like to hear if you can hear me. Just drop a comment in the comment section. All right, I can see a couple of people nodding. All right, Danvonchi, good to meet you all. We know the names of a few of our investors, maybe not all of them. It's good to put a bit of faces to both reQuid, to the reQuid team, and then to the bulk of our investors. So my name is Felix. I'm a co-founder of reQuid. I'm also the CEO of reQuid. My job is to drive strategy and ensure that the value that we promise you, you get them all the time. So I'll do a quick run through, where we've come from, and then where we are currently, and then where we are also going. So I'll share a slide in a bit. I think that might just help to do that. 1 second. All right, so by the way, immediately after my presentation, we'll be taking questions. So for those of us, I know some people are they're on the live Zoom conversation. We also have a number of people who are following us on the live YouTube meeting as well. So if you have questions, prepare your questions. We'll be taking questions from both the Zoom live meeting and then from the conversations up on our social media platforms as well. All right. All right, so I'll just share this with us now. All right. So when we started the idea of building what we built at reQuid sometime last year, the whole idea was we realized that there was a four-pronged problem. The first problem was the fact that people have, investments scattered everywhere. You have an investment with this platform, with that platform, and with every one of these platforms, you needed to be able to track where your monies are at every point in time. So for someone like me, what I did then was I would maintain an Excel spreadsheet, and I would have, this investment on this day, on this platform, this is probably, if it's a digital product, this website address where I found it, where I invested, and a couple of other information that were relevant for me to track. Interestingly, some time ago, I realized that I couldn't keep, I didn't have all the platforms. I had some small change, with. I'd logged onto a platform one day and realized that, wow, Felix, you have £50 on this platform. It was a digital wallet, that allowed me to have digital currencies or currencies, foreign currencies, And then I realized that, wow, I had this money here. I'd completely forgotten about it. And then we thought that was a challenge because people have investment funds on multiple platforms. And they found it difficult to keep track of what these investments were there. That was one problem. Then secondly, we also realized that for agri-investments, for example, and a couple of other investments, the entry price was quite high. So here an investment, the commercial paper is out tomorrow, and the minimum investment you could put in was maybe 100,000 or £1 million, as the case may be. So what we said was, why not democratize these investments so that people could invest in small units of 5,000 naira. And then a third problem was for certain investments like agri investments that had high yields, liquidity was very low. There was no secondary market. You couldn't sell your investment when you wanted to. So that meant that if you had an emergency, you would have to wait till the end of the tenure. And then we said, why not have a platform where people could have access to investments that have been vetted? And for us, even though we tell you we're a technology company, the core of our business is carrying out risk assessments on available investments. And so that when you see an investment on reQuid platform, you rest assured that you have the comfort that this investment, risk assessment has been done on the investment, and it's safe for me to put my money into it. So that was the idea when we started. We started and we launched with about 40 investors. I treated on some, certain components of what we're doing to be sure that what we were doing was ready to scale for the general public. Within this time too, we had, sometime I think in November, we participated in the Nigerian Stock Exchange hackathon. And reQuid, we were the winner of that hackathon. And that gave us access to a partnership with the Nigerian Stock Exchange that we currently have. And it's allowing us to, beyond just agri investments, to also onboard additional products from the capital market. All of that dynamics is being tidied up at the moment. And in the coming weeks, you get to have access to additional products that you could invest in. Later in the year 2019, we participated in the Zenith Bank hackathon as well, and we're the second runner-up of that event. So point is that in the last couple of months, we've been able to iterate, test a number of the things that we're doing, and then putting a bit of structure around, agri investments and investments in other products as well. Right now, we have agri businesses that we partner with, almost somewhere around 10 of them now. We're also, okay, so in the last couple of months that we've been in this space, we've seen a lot of dirty things happening, right? There's been a lot of agri businesses, not very structured, who just collects funds from the public in promise of giving them some kind of returns and all of that. We have a blacklist, we maintain a blacklist of such platforms and businesses who customers have had some kind of issues with. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at. We're also okay. So a couple of months ago, we reached out to our customers, and we try to get feedback on how your experience has been. And out of that, came a number of feature requests. We're asking if I invest in a product, say 10 million naira, currently on reQuid, which we allow you to liquidate your investment. The problem is that I would have to liquidate everything, which didn't make sense for some investors. And investors were asking, is it not possible that we could liquidate a part of what we had? And today, part liquidation on reQuid is as a result of that feedback. So yes, we really appreciate your feedback. We always look forward to hearing from you. We've also had customers who have told us that the period it takes us, to make a request for withdrawal on our platform is too long. Yes, we understand that, and not just you. People who work the same who work at reQuid, we also experience the same thing, and we know it's not the best of experience. But I'll try to put a bit of context around it. So we're a technology company. We're running a trustee kind of model. So we have a trustee. A trustee is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission to their fiduciary responsibility is to protect investors' funds in structures of this nature, right? And given the way the trustee currently works, which applies in the money market, for those of us who are used to investing in money markets, mutual funds, and the likes, the standard liquidation time is usually around 1 to 2 business days, which is what we started with. But I can tell you for a fact now that in the coming weeks, we're currently doing something with the trustee. We're finalizing that so that we can give you a max of 6 hours withdrawal time. So for those of us, we understand some people placed withdrawals over the weekend. Just forgive us, bear with us for a bit. Your payments will come shortly. But in the coming weeks, like I said, we'll have fine-tuned the whole of that process, and you'll be able to liquidate get your withdrawal request processed in very short time. Then meanwhile, in the last weeks too, we've had customers who have said there are some investments on our platform that we don't have so many units of. And that's because even with the provider that we're working with, the units that they have available, right, the total size of the investments are usually very small. And some of these investments are highly sought for. So when we have these units on our platform, in a very short time, our investors consume them. So we want you to understand with us, we're trying to scale, but we're also careful. So we're supporting some of our partners to scale, right? But we're careful not to scale them too fast. We need them to have the right structure to be able to scale, right? To have more units available of the products that they have currently. But we're careful so that we don't push them too far beyond what they can handle. And then that increases the risk component as well. Yes, we've had customers asking us who are the people behind reQuid. So I'm the CEO of reQuid. On our team, we have very primarily we have people who have been in risk, audit, compliance for a couple of years, which, like I said before, is the core of our business, ensuring that when you invest on products on reQuid, you're sure you have that comfort that you're investing in a safe investment options. So our team comprises of people in technology, product marketing, risk and compliance, operations, finance, and and product design as well. So yes, so that's reQuid. We've had customers calling to ask where are we going next with this. At the moment, we've structured a joint venture with some technical partners to allow us to expand what we're doing in the agri sector, right? Also, in the coming weeks, we would have additional products outside of agri, right? So you'll be able to invest in other products that you have in the traditional capital markets. And our partnership with the Nigerian Stock Exchange allows us to be able to do that. So I think at this point, I'm going to allow us to take questions. The core of this conversation today is to hear from our customers, to hear from our investors, tell us how you feel about what we're doing. If you have things that you need us to clarify, this is an excellent time for us to do that. So I'll be taking questions right now. If you have a question, just in the chat area, just drop your questions and we'll be attending to them one after the other. All right, so I have a question here. Yes, I have a question here. Okay, okay, this is not a question actually. So yes, people are saying that now they can gift investment. Yes, so that's the whole idea around being able to transfer. You could give someone an investment and all that. Okay, someone asks, what happens if you transfer an investment to someone, the person doesn't accept it? What happens is, after a set time, if I'm correct, products team will correct me if I'm wrong, after 24 hours, if the recipient does not accept the transfer, it's reverted back into your account. How long is this meeting going to last? The meeting was slated for about 45 minutes, so we should be done quite shortly. Okay, Joshua is asking, estimated interest upon maturity is confusing. Does it work? Is it reflecting my position? Okay, so when you liquidate your investment before maturity, this is what happens. You get your interest pro rata. What that means is, let me paint a scenario. I invested in 20 units, that's 100,000 today for a 6-month investment. Then midway, say at 15%, right? Or let's say 20%. So we can do the math very easily. Midway, 3 months into the investment, you decide to liquidate. What happens is we have a 3% commission on that early liquidation. So what will happen is we charge 3% on the capital. So you get 97,000 immediately after you liquidate. And then you get interest of 10%, which is halfway, right? For the 3 months that you have held the investment. All right. Other questions? How do we decide or select agri-tech platforms that we have on our platform? So yes, we have a very comprehensive risk assessment framework that goes as far as doing checks on the founders of agri-tech companies, looking at the companies, visiting their physical locations, both their farms and then their offices. We profile how far the company has come for the number of years. We have a minimum number of years that they must have been in business. We look at how far they've come, what has been the customer experience. We try to also look at their numbers. What does their books, what do their books look like at the moment? Are they liquid? Can they handle, how well can they handle issues? So if a farm goes south, what's the structure of their, what's the process around their response to that? We also look at the risk mitigants they have in place. We verify their insurance with the insurance provider. Yeah, and a couple of other things here and there that helps us to determine, number one, how liquid the companies are, what kind of processes they have in place. We look at their management staff. What's the quality of their experience? We try to also poke the structure of their operations. Are they structured properly to be able to do the kind of business that they're doing, and a couple of other things, yes. There's a question about BVN verification. Okay, so yes, I know we've had customers who say, why are we asking for BVN? The banks have told them, or people have told them that it's not safe, giving their BVN out onto a third party. Yes, we understand your concern, but we're structuring to be a fintech company for the future, right? So what we're doing is beyond just agri-tech, right? Even though agri-tech is not regulated per se at the moment, so just to also let you know, I'm a member of there's a fintech roadmap committee that's set up by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So if you're aware, you may have seen the SEC has published a draft for how crowdfunding will be regulated. If you've gone through that draft, one of the requirements as part of the regulation is for crowdfunding intermediaries like us, right, to ensure that we carry out KYC on our customers, right? And the minimum KYC today, as defined by CBN, KYC level 1, requires that platforms like ours collect BVN to verify. So these are what we use your BVN for. We don't use your BVN except for the following, right? One, we need to verify that the name you are providing us matches with a verified name. A verified name is a name that has been verified and matched with a BVN with an existing bank account. So having access to your BVN allows us to be able to check your name against your BVN information. And then secondly, when you're providing us with a bank account on our platform to prevent money laundering and a handful of other things, we need to ensure that you who is investing on our platform is the same person who owns that bank account, right? And this is how that information is used. We pass your BVN to a licensed entity like Paystack, for example, and Paystack tells us this name and this BVN, there's a match. This bank account and this BVN, there is a match. So that's the extent to which we use your BVN. How soon will the reQuid team come up with an app? The technology team is currently fine-tuning that. The app will be ready, I'm sure, in another month. Someone asked, why farm sponsor and agro partnerships? We have more than just farm sponsor and agro partnerships on our platform. We have partnership with 6, 7, 8 other partners. So you can go to reQuid.com to verify that information. Okay. Francis is asking, what's our platform called? Is reQuid? And why the multiplicity of apps? So that's one of the problems we're trying to solve. What we think is that as against having to have multiple accounts with all the platforms that are out there, why not maintain a single account on reQuid and still be able to access investments provided by all of these companies? Okay, so Obi is asking, who really insures reQuid? We do not directly provide insurance, right? So what we do is we ensure that the companies that we're working with have comprehensive and adequate insurance for the products that we're providing, that we're listing on our platform. Secondly, we're currently structuring a relationship with a CBN institution that will further ensure some of the activities that we have on reQuid. As we progress in that, we will provide you with information. Okay. Okay, a lot of questions about BVN. We understand that. Okay, someone asks, how is reQuid responding to SEC rule on crowdfunding? What are the likely changes we'll be seeing on this new guideline given by the SEC? Okay, so yes, the SEC crowdfunding rule is actually very interesting. We have reviewed it, our team has reviewed it, and we'll send our feedback to the SEC as they requested. I also sit on the FinTech Roadmap Committee, like I said. As a committee, we have reviewed the guideline and we've also responded to the SEC. So there's been a lot of feedback from a lot of our parties with respect to the draft rule by SEC. I cannot explicitly say what a rule will look like eventually, but what we're hoping is that when the rule is finally, when we have the final rule or the final draft, the rule makes sense, you know, is favorable for our investors, favorable for us as a company, and then also favorable for the agri-tech and other crowdfunding platforms as well. Someone is asking what our relationship with commercial banks like Providus is like. Okay, so we do not have a direct relationship with Providus Bank. What we do is we have a relationship with Monify, TeamApt, a service provided by them that allows us to provide you with some kind of virtual account numbers that, as at today, is with Providus Bank. Allows you to fund your account instantly and be able to carry out activities on the reQuid platform, right? We're also structuring a relationship with another entity in this regard. As things unfold, we'll definitely communicate with you as well. How long have we been in business? reQuid has been in business for just about a year. And in that time, I've shared what we've done, some of the things that were accomplished in that time as well. All right, let me see. So what is insured, principal only or principal plus interest? Okay, so for most of the agri-tech businesses, right, the way the insurance is designed is to protect, the insurance is designed to cover, so let me paint a scenario. So if, for example, an agri-tech business, you know, is farming poultry, what happens is all the inputs required to carry out that, you know, farming operation for the period that they're going to do it, usually all of that input is insured. We verify that that insurance is in place, right? And then if anything goes south within that time, the insurance company pays the partner in question the insured sum, which in a number of cases covers your capital. But also, just to help you understand what happens, to be honest, there have been a number of scenarios where things went south with, a partner, not in our case though, but we've seen a number of those scenarios. So we know how these things play out. What happens usually would be, say, if farming period is about 6 months, usually the way these partners structure it, they structure the tenure in such a way that if something happens, there's still enough time to restart the farming process. So a farming process that will usually take, say, 4 months, an agribusiness will tell you our investment is for 7 months, so that if something goes wrong in the 4 months, they have enough time to redo the farming process, right? To still be able to provide you with not just your principal, but your principal and interest as well. Let me see the other questions. Okay, there's a pre-order question by Uloma. I don't know what it is. Okay, someone is asking, can we pre-order and prepay for an investment to be sure we get it so we don't have to scramble? All right, we're working to increase the size of investment on our platform, but this is what I can say. I understand this question because I know there's a particular investment on our platform. When it opens, we usually have a lot of demand for that product, right? So for example, the last time one of these products got listed on our platform, what happened was we had about 5 to 6 times of the available units in terms of fund. So 600% of funds was pursuing this particular product in question. So what usually happens in cases like that is, for some people, before they even land on your website, they get to see that units are already sold out. Today, we do not pre-order per se, right? So if I understand what you mean by pre-order, you're saying, so pre-order for you would be, you've paid before the time, right? And when that product is available on our platform, you don't have to go through the hassle of scrambling for that investment, as it were. It's difficult for us to do because for that product, let me put it in context. So the product you're talking about today, the entire size of that product is about 100 million, right? We take sometimes 50 to 70, 80% of that as a platform from the provider, right? And in this very last time when we had our product launch on our platform, we had 5 times, 6 times of that of fund. So what happened was we just allowed it to play the way it was to play, fastest fingers first. It's difficult for us to say, okay, for some customers, we're going to give you, some kind of premium access. Just give us some time on that particular product. We're trying to see how the partner can scale, when they can scale. Okay, so Francis is asking, when is the next round of investments coming up? In this week, we're having fresh products on the platform. We're having 2 products at least opening up on the platform. I can give you a bit of insight. One of the products is opening at 25% in, I think, 6 months. Another product is opening up at 28% in 7 months. Information will come between today and I think Wednesday. So if you have funds on the platform, just get ready for the, we have a lot of units for those ones, I think. And then for those who don't have funds in their wallets, you can go ahead and fund your wallets as well. Okay, someone is saying, Judy, they don't know if you're a bot, but you're doing a fantastic job. All right. All right, Judy, you're doing a great job. Okay, so there are lots of more questions and we have very limited time to take them. What would happen is this, we'll take these questions. If you have more questions that you want to ask, the email to send your questions to is support@requid.com. All right, so send your email support@requid.com. We'll provide answers for all of these questions and probably send you a link via email so that you can see if your questions were duly answered. All right, so I think that will be all from me. I'm going to hand over back to Utibe. Utibe is going to do a bit of a quiz to be sure that our investors know what we're about. And we'll be testing live on this meeting how the investment gifting works. All right, over to you, Utibe. And thank you everyone for Premier.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Felix. So we're going to be playing a game. For those of us that are just joining, my name is Utibe. Like Felix rightfully mentioned, I'm product designer, reQuid. We're going to be playing a game on Kahoots. So I mentioned a while back, some minutes ago, that I was going to use this opportunity to demonstrate transfer of investments. And so let's get right to it. I'm going to be sharing my screen in a bit. So how we participate by going to kahoot.it. K-A-H-H-O-O, sorry, let me take that again. Kahoot.it. So I'm going to type it in chat. 1 second, please. Okay, so I just typed it in the chat, the site to go to. I'm going to be sharing my screen, so you just copy the game ID, and then you can participate. There's a prize for whoever wins, and I'm going to use that opportunity to demonstrate transfer of investments. Whoever wins is going to get some investments transferred to their portfolio. All right, I'm switching now. All right, so over here is the, So over here, I'm going to be starting in a bit. The game ID is, okay, so I can see Dipo, Obi, Chimex. Yeah, all right, cool. Okay. This is interesting. Yeah, I can see Uloma, I can see Jenny, I can see Dami, Victoria. All right, so I'll be starting a bit. I'm just gonna wait for a few more people to join in. Or should I say we'll be starting in a bit? Okay, we'll be starting. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for about 3 more people to join, because I want everybody to, at least as many people as possible, to be able to participate. Okay, I think we've reached max number. I'm going to restart. Oh, wow. Numbers are still increasing. All right. So we are starting. Oh, quickly. So when you get a question, answer according to the shape and color of the option that you see on your device. Oh, wow. That was quick. All right. So, okay. Oh, wow. Jenny won this round. Jen's quite fast. I'm guessing your network is good too. All right. We're going to the next one. Oh, Jenny followed by Dumebi. Cool. And Kahak Rizna. Next question. This one is interesting. Wow. And let's see the results. Jenny has stepped up, followed by Dumebi. Okay, this is getting interesting. Next. Okay. Let's see the results. Jenny again. All right, cool. Next question. To be sad if you get this one wrong. Okay. I wonder who chose one key. Jenny again. Wonder maybe is really catching up. All right, next question. Oh, wow. Let's see the results. Wow. So, okay. Oh, wow. So, second runner-up is Dumebi. First runner-up is I Kingsley. And our winner is Jenny. So, Jenny, I'll need you to share with me your email address, the one, or your reQuid referral details. You have one, yeah. You've won a quid. And I'm going to be demonstrating transfer, right? Immediately I get it. So I'll need you to share it here on Zoom. Just share it and then I'll get it. So yeah. One second. Okay, so we'll give her a second to share that with me while I go over to my portfolio and see what I can send. Okay, so I hope you can all see my screen. Apparently somebody has been drawing lines on my screen. Okay, so we will see here from the first line item here, which is rice farm, that there's an investment going on. There's an investment transfer going on here. You can see 4 out of 5 units left. That's because I attempted doing a transfer just before the presentation. And apparently this person hasn't accepted. Now, as one of the measures, like Felix mentioned, to answer a question that one of our customers asked is, what happens when this person does not accept the investment? It's very simple. I could cancel that transfer if I wanted, but I want to show you something before I do that. I'm going over to the wallet. You will have noticed when I wanted to do a transfer of funds that my wallet was showing minus 15 naira. The funny thing is, originally my wallet was on 00 naira. What we have done is we want you to be able to transfer whether you have monies in your wallet or not, because of course there's a transfer fee, a small fee that we will charge for carrying out that service. What we do is, if you have running investments, all we need to do is debit your wallet and charge the fee for your transfer to your wallet. And then when you have investments that mature, naturally they pay into your wallet, and then it then balances up naturally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count. Yes, okay. So naturally, that has worked and it has been accepted. The person I transferred to originally has accepted that investment, and you can see that I have 4 out of 5 units remaining. I'm going to transfer to Jenny now. She has 1 reQuid, which is approximately, that is 1 unit on the platform. And so I'm going to transfer to her. 1 second while I get her email address or her referral details. Oh, I'm sorry. My mic was automatic. Was actually muted. So what I'm saying, what I said is, I have transferred a unit, a quid, to Jenny. Immediately she accepts, this icon here, the transfer icon, will become the cancel icon will become a transfer icon, showing me that she has accepted that. She will also get mail informing her of my transfer, and another mail telling her that a new investment has been added, and automatically that investment will be added to her portfolio. And yes, mine will be reduced to 3 units. So we'll just allow her to do that for a few seconds. All right, so all right, so this is going to take a bit, and I like everybody to, I like to continue with, I like us to continue. So maybe when she has accepted, we'll come back to this. Over to you, Blessing. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Tiber. Thank you, Mr. Felix, for that. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you found the meeting useful and insightful. It was informative. See you in our next town hall meeting. Please stay safe and have a good night. Utibe, over to you again.
Okay. So let's see if she has accepted. Okay. So we're just gonna wait for. I'm guessing she's either checking her mail or whatever. But the point of this whole thing is, once you send an investment to whoever it is that you are gifting an investment to, they get notifications, and you also get updates here showing you how much is left and how much is actionable of what you had in your portfolio originally. All your details are still there as they were before. And as I said earlier, you will see that I've also been charged to my wallet. So when my next investment matures, or I decide, okay, yeah, awesome. So Jenny has accepted my gifts, and now I can see that I have 3 out of 5 remaining. 5 being the original number of units I had for that investment, and 3 being what I now have for that investment. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of this. We hope that you enjoy these new features and you continue to enjoy the platform, and that you can invest easily and smartly as we continue to help you do that. Thank you once again.